I'm a TV star now, goddammit. And I have to look professional. But do I? Really?
Hard Rock Lunchbox.
Oh, man, what the hell is going on, good people? I am sorry. I was late. I am late. I'm still late. It's not was. Still am. Hey, man, it's a brand new day here on the Hard Rock Lunchbox. I have so much new stuff going on that even I cannot figure out what's going on. Now, that might not sound that impressive of a bar because I cannot figure out most of this stuff. You know, which is funny because technologically speaking, I'm usually pretty good at stuff like this, but the way it's been, and let me fix that because probably should fix that, and there we go, and what the hell is going on over there? Check. Oh, there it is. All right, sorry. So, yeah. All right. Yeah. I know, everybody loves when I do that. It's so funny. So funny. Feel free to let me know in the chat if anything sounds weird. You can let me know if anything looks weird next week on the top 20, and that was just a great segue. Because there's a new top 20 out today, and now that we're just a week behind, it feels a lot more relevant. So that's kind of cool. Like, I have notes about the top 20. It was actually a good one. It's the one where I was talking about, like, why we pulled Charlotte out of public school and why she's doing an online academy this year. And I actually have some more information about that, which is stuff that's come up this week, and I'll do that in our new segment, What's Charlotte Up To? That's actually not going to be a new segment. She actually told me, man, I have a good amount of Charlotte stories today. I have. She was telling me casually on the way home from soccer practice the other day that I permanently scarred her in a way that I could totally see how I scarred her. So that was good news for me. Like, it's nice to learn that kind of thing. But it's also the one where I'm talking about, I'm still mad about the DIY, be a full-time musician, and I go into great detail about how you can be a full-time cereal eater if you want to. That's probably pretty good. I talk a lot about the David Caggiano interview on Bacon Is My Podcast. Still to date, it is my favorite interview on there, and that includes my own. And a slightly funny side note, I had gotten a message from the great and powerful Annie Stoic, who played with Bowling for Soup over the weekend, but she had sent me a message along the lines of, like, just to explain to you how bad the traffic was from Long Island to New Jersey, I was able to listen to your entire Bacon interview, which I think she might be the only human that has done that. I'm sure there's a couple others, but, like, I guess it depends. If it's just the one that aired, I guess that's not impressive. If it's the unedited one that had to span like that in several Patreons, then, like, Annie might still be driving. So, but anyway, you can check that out. It's a good top 20. Sorry, I don't mean to be gross on cam. On cam, that's what we call that in this business. Not like on cam from Modern Family, because that would be gay. Or Mitch would be on cam. I assume. I assume. I don't know. Little Modern Family humor for you. By the way, if you've never watched Modern Family, you are so missing out. I think I'm on my third run through this show, and I don't know why it keeps getting funnier. I think there's just so much stuff in it, but, like, I don't know. Anyway, so, yeah, that's all going on. But I'm really happy that it's, like, just a week behind now. It just feels, like, way more relevant. So, like, especially if you missed the show, if you missed the Hard Rock Lunchbox and you just want to, like, catch in, like, because it's at midnight. Like, it's right before, or not right, it's exactly 12 hours before this show goes live. And I think that's going to work out really well. So, I don't know. We may or may not be having Annie Stoic in studio next week. I realized that I blew her off last week, and she had something really important to promote, and for that I am sorry. And I told her I was sorry. I just wasn't, and I'm still not prepared to have a second person in the studio because of all the stuff that's going on over here that you cannot see. Let me just move my camera like that. All right, cool. Yeah. But we might be having her on next week, but then I realized she might not actually have anything to promote. I mean, she's more than welcome to just come and hang, and Annie's always a good guest anyway, but it'll be up to her whether or not she wants to waste an hour or two of her life that she'll never get back here on the Hard Rock Lunchbox. But I'll let you know. So in other programming news, see, somewhat professional, we'll be dealing with the professionality in just a minute, because we have a lot of professional to get to today in the new segment called DJ Goes Professional. Expected to be one of the most short-lived sections or segments ever. But in other stuff coming up, there is a new Bacon is My Podcast full interview with the band called Weather Eye. I do not know them. I will watch the interview. This week has been hella hell, and I'll talk about how bad my week's been. And I realized that one of the benefits to my audience of talking about how bad my week's been is that I have found and have been told by a couple other people that they hear how my bad weeks go, and they're like, oh yeah, it's not okay. My week's pretty good. Boy, was that the wrong button. I guess that means we're going to have a new segment on this show. How bad is your week? There we go. And absolutely not. We cannot bring Bruce over. Momo is dog averse and doesn't even like watching the Dog Whisperer. By the way, we've been watching the new Dog Whisperer thing. It's like Better Dogs, Better Humans. The Cesar Millan. It's really cool. I really like his dog psychology center that he's got and the way he handles dogs. If you haven't checked it out, I don't know where it is. I think we watch it on Disney. I don't know. Charlotte controls the TV, so she lives on the couch. She controls the TV. It seems only fair, but whatever that is, that's where it is. But if you can check it out, it's really good. It's a level up from the Dog Whisperer, which I always loved anyway. It was a staple when I was 6. So, but I like the new show. I think it's called Better Dogs, Better Humans. Definitely worth a check out for sure. So what was I saying? Something. Anyway, doesn't matter. 7 questions. AJ from Werewolves. That's out last night, I think. Check that out. That's what I was saying. So hella busy. I haven't even watched my own top 20. I have not gotten to the new interview on Weather Eye. I did watch all the David Caggiano. I think I told you that, and that was very interesting. And even David and I were actually talking, messaging on Facebook about some of the similarities that we have in terms of attention and all that other stuff. It was kind of good. I've always liked David Caggiano. Anyway, I do hope to work with him at some point. I think that'll be a lot of fun. I do get the feeling that there's a real possibility that David and I could take 3 years making a record, and 2.5 of it would just be swapping stories. And to be perfectly honest, I'd be perfectly fine with that. So, also, there's a new Strangerhood TV content. There's setting up the new drum set with Chris Waterbury. And on a personal note, I just want to give a shout out to my boy Chris. I hope he's doing better. It's not my news to share. If you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. If not, just don't send your thoughts so much to Chris as your prayers. That's a Dimitri Martin joke, worth repeating. Prayers were appropriate. Thoughts are kind of weird. But speedy recovery, my dude, and all that other nonsense. And, that's it for programming notes. All right. So, I did have a couple things to talk about that I thought of in probably like the last 30 minutes. But as I was reviewing the notes, these notes are super helpful, by the way. As I was reviewing the notes for the top 20, which was last week's Hard Rock Lunchbox, there's a part in there where I talk about wanting to be more professional. And this, there's a couple ways to go, right? Like just like anybody, I love a good, January 6th, election was stolen, anti-vax conspiracy theory basement podcast, just as much as anybody else does. But and that's why it looked, fine, the whole setup I had down here. It's basically my basement, which is just not, it's not like when I first did I think an unplugged, I think it was Jenna. I'm not sure who made the comment, but I think it was Jenna famously of Jenna and Alex. And I think she had said something like, why does it look like DJ's being held hostage? And that's 100% accurate. I am being held hostage in my basement. This is what I do. And it's by my own choice. I'm being held hostage by me. So it's cool. It's totally fine. But, I got, fluorescent lighting, bad fluorescent lighting. I got yellow walls, which I really like and stuff like that. But it's really chaotic down here because it's my production studio. I have some computer equipment. I have a lot of computer equipment down here, and like directly behind me over the past year, since almost a year, has been the shipping department of Revel 9 for all things direct to customer from here. So all the vinyl, all the CDs and stuff like that, we ship them out in-house, and I just have a whole setup behind me, which is fine. Like, I have my guitar and my bass and stuff because I grab those, because what you can't see, like right in front of us, is the basic pre and kind of mid-production studio for all things Revel 9. Like, when I work on stuff, it's all right here. And if I felt inclined to take, maybe the next time I take the phone off the stand here, we can do like a basic walkthrough of what it's like on the Hard Rock Lunchbox and the top 20, like a little peek behind the curtain. Like, we could do that, but I feel like you guys have seen enough of that already for now, so I'll wait till you forget that, and then we'll do it again, and it'll be fun and exciting. And we'll definitely kill 5 minutes, which is, of course, important. But so it really started bothering me a little bit. And I think I really noticed how much it bothered me when I went on the Bacon Is My Podcast interview, because I went to their studio to do it, and it was basically the first time I had been out to do an interview during COVID and stuff like that, so I was nervous and uncomfortable, and I know, like, they're two of my best friends, and I still get stage fright, and I still get social anxiety because I'm a mess. I mean, I'm working on it, but, like, people that get social anxiety in social situations and stuff like that, like, God bless you. Like, I totally understand it. Like, I get social anxiety in the most non-need for social anxiety situations because that's just how I'm wired. It sucks. Believe me, I'd rather not be that way. But anyway, so I was there, and it was like super professional and stuff like that. And I'm like, not that it's like a competition or anything, but I was like, I could totally do this if I put in like any effort whatsoever. So I really just started to think about ways to make the show better. I mean, when I was just doing the audio only and it was just the box, like, who gives a shit what it looks like in here? Like, not me, not you. Like, I could tell you, be like, oh, dude, we're in Burbank Studios. Like, be all Johnny Carson about it if we want to just throw an old-ass reference into the mix and stuff like that. But the reality is, like, I'm a TV star now. I can't even get the words out. I'm a TV star now, God damn it. And I have to look professional. But do I? Really? But the answer is maybe. Maybe I do have to look professional. So I started by getting a really cool banner, a really cool backdrop, which you can see right here. It's not even, like, it's real. Like, I could touch it. It's not like, I mean, I do love Zoom meetings with the backgrounds and stuff, but this is real. Like, touch. Like, I could do that. Like, Revel 9, nope. Revel 9, Hard Rock Lunchbox, nope. Top 20, yeah. I designed it myself. Aha. So I started with that. Just block background, kind of looked all right. And then what happens is when you make your background look good, or better, like, then the foreground starts to stick out. And who is in the foreground? Ta-da! Or ta-da. Wada? I don't know. I don't speak Spanish. And I got to tell you, you cannot put a banner over this. First of all, they don't make them that big. Thank you very much. Second of all, it just means I needed to step up and do some work. Not shave work, because I'm not doing that. I mean, come on. It's still Thursday. I mean, come on. But I had mentioned that I was going to go kind of maybe full Mr. Rogers. And so I gave it some thought, and I decided, like, yeah, it's time to actually do this for real, like a super professional monkey death car that I am. So what I did was, if you've noticed, thank you for noticing, I replaced my microphone with an actual broadcasting microphone. It's my SM7. I usually have it tucked away, but screw it. It's going to be out every week. As much as the CAD was cool, I mean, it wasn't a great microphone, which is why I had it out all the time, because I didn't care so much. But, like, sound-wise, yeah, it wasn't great, but it did the job. It did the job well enough, but like I said, it wasn't great, and it doesn't look great. Like, I mean, it looks like it should be an award for microphones, honestly. So that's over here. That is going in my gluten-free bar box. And if you think I'm kidding, I'm not. Gluten-free bars. These are delicious, by the way. See? Gluten-free. Not a sponsor, by the way. Opportunity. But anyway, that goes in there for right now until I can find a bag or a box for it, because the box got destroyed. Long story. But like, huh? Doesn't that look like professional? Like, would it surprise you if somebody professional was speaking into this microphone? Of course not. But all you got, it's me. And that's all we got, and that's cool. So, equipment, not 10, but it's on, solid 7.5, I think. Backdrop, looking good. And so the only thing that really left to improve was me, your host. And as much improvement as is required, I don't have that kind of time. So what I decided to do, like I said, go Mr. Rogers. Like, I come into work and I just change my sweater, as it were. So I'm just putting on one of my Revel 9 shirts. I don't have a lot of them, so I didn't mean to sound braggy, but I put it on instead of just my normal. This would have been my Blue Champion shirt, although it is getting cooler, so I probably would start investing into sleeves. But for right now, I'm just going to go this way because I feel like this already looks a lot more professional. I could be wrong, and you can join the conversation if you want on 99WNRR.com. We'll get you right into the conversation, or you can go over to hardrocklunchbox.com, and there's a link to the live show right there up at the top, plus all the archives of all the other shows, and that's kind of cool. But I know this isn't going to do much for the listening audience, so this is more of it's not really a ploy to get you to watch the top 20 when it comes out next week at midnight on Thursday on Strangerhood TV, but if you want to see it for reals, then that's where you're going to have to go see it, because I decided that maybe just the shirt probably wasn't enough, and this might be a shirt and tie situation. So what's happening right now, if I could if I could have your attention for a moment, I'm going to try and visually dictate what's happening. So I have a burgundy tie, which you can't see till next week, but I really like it. I have a few ties, but I really like the burgundy one. It's just one of my favorite ties. I like that color a lot. I'm a big fan of purple, and this is kind of close to it, but that's neither here nor there. So what I'm going to do here, maybe it should go under the collar. I don't know. I'm going to do it like this. So I am putting on a tie now for, not so much for the Hard Rock Lunchbox, because nobody cares out in the Hard Rock Lunchbox land, but for the top 20 viewers, I feel this might be a thing. And just, hold on, I'm going to fold this over. If you're interested, I'm doing a half Windsor. I don't know if that's something that anybody cares about. If you're a fan of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you'll know that I might as well not be wearing anything at all, because it's the easiest not to undress. And, yeah, so there we go. I now have a tie on. Yeah. I got to tell you, it doesn't look so bad. In my head, it was going to look better, but kind of hanging down. I feel like, in Major League, where Charlie Sheen goes into that restaurant and they just tell him he's got to wear a tie, but he's got to, cut off jean denim jacket and stuff like that, and he's just sitting there with a tie next. That's kind of what I feel like. So here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the pinnacle of Hard Rock Lunchbox professionalism, mainly because the top 20... I think needs to step up its image a little bit, and nobody else really wants to host it, so we're kind of stuck with me. So this might actually be the look going forward, kind of a jacket and tie for the modern rock star kind of man. I really don't know what to do other than this to make things better. If you have some helpful suggestions, feel free to send them on over to hardrocklunchbox@gmail.com. As always, all critiques of the show and the host go over to MONTE at cravingstrange.net, and I'll be sure and get those to the appropriate people, I promise. So, to be perfectly honest with you, I didn't expect this to take all that long, but I guess I should have known better. So we're kind of out of time for the top 20. Yeah! Which means I'll pepper in my weekly stories. I'll try and talk about Charlotte, and I'll try and talk about how hard it is to schedule a medical exam these days, which is just bananas to me, and everything else and anything else that kind of pops into my head. Or on the chat. Chat's over there. That's why I pointed there. I didn't point there for no reason. I'm not a maniac. But we'll just have to get this show started. Now, this might seem like a weird way to start the show, but I got to tell you, this is such a great song, and it's been in my head for weeks. I was going to play it when I came back from vacation last week, and I was like, maybe not. And then I thought about it, and I was like, There is literally nobody in my listening audience that cares what I play first when I come back from the box. So I'm just going to play it this week. It's neither hard nor rock. It's kind of lunchbox, but it's definitely dope, and it's awesome. And I defy you to disagree. You'd be wrong, and that's okay, because we're wrong often here. We're often wrong. That's a new segment on the Hard Rock Lunchbox.